So if you're like me, a couple of months back, you may have seen something about Mia Goth allegedly assaulting an extra on set of Maxine and the extra suing her. And you were like, oh man, this is such a bummer. Boo, assault. Boo, I don't like it. I don't like that one bit. That's very sad. And, well, if you're like me, you wanted to know more about it, only to discover that there really isn't many details at the moment. And so you just carried on with the rest of your day, paid attention to the other 900 things that are on fire in the world that day, and moved on. Well, luckily for you, I have come across some very fun updates, some very interesting updates that have happened within about the past 24 hours, and I'm about to share them with you from the very top. Because let me tell you something, there is something really wild that came out during this, and you're going to want to see this so bad, trust me. So let's get started with the very first thing, the TMZ article written all the way back in January of this year about how Mia Goth is sued by the Maxine Extra. You kicked me in the head. This is TMZ, so you know that's how they would say it. Now, actress Mia Goth, known for the films X and Pearl, is being sued by a background extra for upcoming film in the series after allegedly kicking him in the head on purpose during a take. The background actor says the scene called for him to wear a robe and be covered in fake blood from head to toe, and he says he had to lay down in the dirt and play dead for several hours enduring ants and mosquitoes. Rough. Mia, who plays Maxine, was supposed to run past the actor, step over him, look at him, then keep on running. But after a few takes, the actor claims that Mia nearly stepped on him. Oof. Well, that's bad. You're right. You gotta make sure that doesn't happen. You don't want to make sure that Mia doesn't step on him. And so what happens is that he says that Mia was warned to be careful, but instead he claims that she intentionally kicked him in the head with her boot on the following take, causing serious pain and neck stiffness. And he says the doctors later told him that he suffered a concussion. Oh. No, that's not good. That's really bad. You see, well, essentially what he's saying is that that he was laying down on the floor. Mia ran past, stepped close to the head, and he was like, "Oh no, hey, she got close to my head. Can you make sure that she doesn't step on me?" And then the next take, Mia was like, and kicked him in the head instead. And she was very upset, of course, that he tried to tell her not to kick him in the head, and so she kicked him in the head. Obviously, that makes sense. Maybe to some people. Anyways. He claims that no medical assistant was provided on set. Instead, he says that Mia approached him in the bathroom and taunted, mocked, and belittled him, daring them to do anything about what went down. What's more is he says that the fake blood had stuck to his body, so peeling off the blood-stained robe caused even more pain. And he claims he experienced headaches on the drive home and nearly passed out twice from the trip. I spit a lot right there. I'm getting very worked up if you can't tell. As if that wasn't enough, the actor says that he has taken off the production following the incident, and he's now suing for at least $500,000 in damages for battery and wrongful termination, plus punitives. They've reached out for Mia's team for comment. So far, no word back. Now, this was back in January, and well, TMZ is not up with the times because we've got Dread Central. Oh, Dread Central. You see, Dread Central, they know what's going on because they decided that they wanted to talk to the man known as James Hunter, the extra who is accusing Mia of kicking him in the head intentionally. And so this came out just the other day, July 10th, on Dread Central, written by Josh Korngut. I'm sorry, Josh. I know I messed that up, but what are you going to do? Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about what this article has to say. So Mia Goth accuser shares new details of alleged Maxine set assault. Nobody will believe you because you're nothing. That's in quotes. That means that somebody said that. Who could it be? Let's find out. All right. In an exclusive conversation with Dread Central, Los Angeles-based background actor James Hunter shares new details of the alleged physical and verbal assaults he faced from Maxine star and executive producer Mia Goth during a night shoot for the film over a year ago. She said, "Nobody will believe you because you're nothing. Get the F off my set, you big baby." Whew, man. Ooh, that's cruel. That's mean. That's just downright unfriendly. Hunter's legal case against A24, Goth, and director T. West came to light when TMZ reported on the lawsuit in January. While there was initial flurry of fan response at the time, neither West, Goth, nor A24 gave detailed comments on the series' accusations. When Dread Central contacted Hunter for comment, the plaintiff provided us with an in-depth account of the alleged incident, which we share below. In his account of the night shoot, Hunter said that he was the only background actor present for the shift. He tells Dread Central that West instructed him to lie on the ground outdoors without padding, where ants and mosquitoes subsequently bit him. Poor Hunter. I really feel for the guy. Now, Hunter then describes multiple takes shared solely between Goth and himself. On the fourth or fifth take, I'm lying on the left side of my ear. I hear her. She runs by me, and I hear her boot clamped right down right next to my ear. And I thought, oh well, it's dark out. She's not really getting a beat on where exactly I'm laying. Hunter said that he alerted the second assistant director of the close call, who reported Hunter's concerns to the rest of the crew. He described a noticeable pause before shooting resumed, saying, "In the very next take, it is the same thing, except I got kicked, and I felt it. I heard the dirt and the leaves or grass rustling next to me, so I knew where she was, or I knew that she knew where I was. She runs up to me, but instead of stopping, I feel and hear her shuffle right before she gets to me. I get kicked." Ah, damn. You just hate to hear it, don't you? You hate to hear it. Oh, it breaks my heart. It really does. He then says he was in tremendous pain from the kick, but he didn't react dramatically or leave the set since the movie promised him multiple days of paid work. He says he told the crew of the kick, which according to Hunter put a break on the shoot. When Dread Central reached out to A24 comment regarding Hunter's claims, a representative replied with the following statement: "The claims made in the complaint are simply not true. As this is an active litigation, we cannot say more this time, but continue to vigorously defend Mia and the entire filmmaking team against these extremely baseless accusations." Alright, that's A24 talking about what exactly they believe they can say on the situation. And clearly they're not backing down. They believe that this didn't happen at all and that James is lying, that James is a liar. That's a crazy thing to say, but we'll go back to that later. Anyways, we also reached out to several members of the Maxine crew who were present on the night of the described mistreatments, and none of these individuals responded to our request for comment. Hunter says it was only a short time after this when he used a porta potty at a secluded restroom area at the bottom of the hill where they were shooting. He alleges thinking he was alone in the area, saying, "And so I go down and I use the bathroom and I forgot to lock the door." He says that Goth pushed open the unlocked porta potty stall door as he was using the toilet. He describes standing there, turning his head over his shoulder to Goth, who was in the doorframe, and Hunter says he began to apologize, assuming there had been a mistake or misunderstanding. He tries to explain that he said he tried to explain to her that someone, himself, was using the stall and that he had made the mistake of not locking the door. This is when he alleges Goth verbally assaulted him. He claims to have written down the exact words on a nearby call sheet so that he would remember them verbatim. He quotes Goth as saying, "Nobody will believe you because you're nothing. Get the F off my set, you big baby." Man, it's enough to make a grown man cry. Not this one, though. Anyways, Hunter tells us he believes Goth was alluding that no one believed him if he expressed that her kick was done purposefully and with malice. We do not have official word from Goth about Hunter's accusations. She did share a brief comment about the situation in an interview with the New York Times. She could not address the lawsuit. Essentially, that's pretty much all she said. And Dread Central is paying close attention to Hunter's suit. Well, good luck, Dread Central, because me, Kino from Pulp Kino, I've got a crazy scoop thanks to Twitter. Thanks to actually Dawson E. Choice on Twitter. You see, if you didn't think that this was crazy already, look at this. Look at this. Well, this is awkward. Apparently, James Hunter, the Maxine extra, was found guilty on multiple charges of fraud about a decade ago, having scammed many UCLA students out of cash by pretending to lease apartments on Craigslist. Now let's talk about what we're seeing here first. Okay, we have two images. This image is the sort of mugshot of the man who was scamming back in 2014 the UCLA students. Now, this over here is our extra, our main man, James Hunter, who was kicked in the head, unfortunately. And well, you'll notice some differences. All right, we don't know this is the same person, right? This is clearly a different looking in certain degrees. You know, he may have found Ozempic. He may just have strong willpower. Who knows? But if this is the same fella, congratulations on you for losing weight. It is not an easy thing to do. But aside from the lack in plumpness, to be frank, there's some interesting things about this. Some interesting similarities that I just thought were interesting because, you know, this is my opinion. In my opinion, there's some interesting similarities, and let's look at those. For me, the big one is the eyebrows. If you look at the eyebrows, they're shaped in a very peculiar way. That's very interesting. It goes up and then it points like super. It's like kind of like a slide. It's like you climb up the slide and you slide right down. And both of them have this very same shape and arc. And well, it certainly has that same shape and arc. And well, you see, if you look at my eyebrows, they don't have that swoop, you know, they're just kind of, they're up and then they're down. And but James here, both of these James, sorry, we don't know if the same person, they have a very interesting kind of swirl going on here. And well, maybe it's just because he's doing this. But the thing is, it just looks so similar to me. It just looks so similar, even like they're hitting the same kind of look. Thing going on. But I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'm thinking about eyebrows too much. But let's talk about the eyes. We can see here he's got some lightly colored eyes, and he also has some lightly colored eyes, which is rather interesting. The lips, you can see, are noticeably less plump, for sure, a little less plump, but similar shape. You can see the nice little angles here, nice little thing here. You know, I'm not just not trying to sound like a scientist or a doctor or anything. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying what my eyes see, and I don't have the best eyes. I could be wrong. You know, he's not wearing glasses, so point for James. This could not be the same guy. We don't know. The nose. Yeah, the nose looks a little. It's a toss-up. It's a toss-up. Let's call it even score on the nose. Either way, you see, let's go ahead and look at this James right here. Let's go ahead and look at what exactly went down with this guy. You see, man arrested for allegedly scamming potential renters through Craigslist. That's this man right here. You see the eyebrows, that's the one that does it for me. It really is. Anyways, University police are searching for a man who allegedly scammed victims out of money while pretending to lease them apartments on Craigslist. James Webb Hunter III. That's an interesting name. James Webb Hunter III. James Webb Hunter III. James Webb Hunter 3. You could even, you know, just let's cut out the middleman. Let's just initials. J W H 3. Oh, I only have 2 of them. 3. That's interesting, but I don't know why. I guess we'll come back to that later, I guess. Who knows? But anyways, he's 37. He allegedly has a history of stealing from potential renters in the period between when one lease ends and another lease begins for an apartment. According to a UCPD alert, police did not immediately respond to calls for comment about the location of the apartments. UCPD arrested Hunter October 5th on a charge of theft by false pretenses. He released on bond October 9th. So we have a fraudster, a scammer, someone who's stealing money from UCLA students, which, I mean, I don't know about you, but I know most college students are pretty flat broke. This is written on the Daily Bruin, which is, I believe, UCLA's daily magazine, if I'm not wrong. And well, this guy's not a good guy. Not a good guy. If he came out alleging that someone was, assaulting him and then sued them for a lot of money, well, I'd have a hard time believing him. But luckily, we don't know that this is the same guy. But just in case, let's talk about what happens next for this guy, James Webb Hunter III. Now, apparently that the man wanted for scamming several students was sentenced to jail and probation already. So this was only a year after the incident. This was July 30th, 2015, when the original incident happened on October 2014. A man wanted for scamming several UCLA students in the North Village was sentenced to Wednesday to 10 days in county jail and a 3-year probation for 2 scams. University police said that James Webb Hunter III, 38 now, was known to scam people out of money by pretending to lease apartments on Craigslist for several years. That is crazy. That's a long time, obviously, to be scamming people out of money on apartments. I don't even know how that happens. By the way, a scam artist. I don't think anybody can argue with that, right? It's my opinion that this man is a scam artist. I mean, it's not just my opinion. He was arrested for it, charged for it, convicted. And so, that's very interesting. It's very interesting because, well, if that is the same guy, man, that doesn't look good. Man, that case just seems a little bit weaker. And then, of course, there was one thing. Before we keep going, before I really kind of hammer it down, I do actually want to go back. I want to go back to the article. You see, I want to go back to this one because there was something that James said that I thought was just darn right hilarious. I thought that it's damn near a comedy movie moment. You see, I want to talk about the porta potty incident. Now, we'll go ahead and go over what he says happened. You see, Hunter says it was only a short time after the incident when he used a porta potty at a secluded restroom area at the bottom of the hill from where they're shooting. So, in my mind, here's what I'm seeing. Big hill, shoop, porta potty, shooting up here, porta potty down here. You with me? Okay. Now, James walked on down to the porta potty. Okay, he went into the porta potty, and then Mia popped up. Now, the funny part to me is I could really only see 2 options. 2 options. And that's that, one, James, because here's the thing. James said he thought that he was alone, that it was a secluded area. He thought he was completely alone, right? And so there's happened one or 2 ways. Is that James walked down to the porta potty. Mia was stalking behind him, waiting for him to go down and waiting for just enough time to tail him behind, kind of like a GTA tailing mission, and then run up on him, be like, okay, is he in the porta potty yet? Oh, he is? Okay. Ran down there, busted through the porta potty door, and said, nobody will believe you because you're nothing. Get the F off my set, you big baby. Now that, to me, just imagining that is downright hilarious. Unfortunately, of course, this is verbal assault, and it's not a laughing matter. If only it happened in Minecraft, that would be really funny. But it happened in real life, so this is serious. But if it happened in Minecraft, if it didn't happen like in real life, man, that's really funny imagining that. But that's only scenario one. I really like, personally though, scenario two. I think scenario two is probably one of my favorites, you see, because the other scenario, the only other one I can really think of, is that James walked down to the secluded area. Of course, he thought there was nobody around, and so what that means is that Mia Goth must have been hiding around the corner, and maybe in another porta potty. Who knows? But I like to imagine her being right on the side of the porta potty door, and then James shuts the door, and then she just, nobody will believe you, and vanishes in the night. And to me, oh my god, that's hilarious to me. I just think that's great. To me, I really hope it's that one because that's right out of a horror movie, but also like a really funny movie at the same time. And and then the best part of it both is that here's my favorite part. Here's my favorite part out of it. No matter which scenario you choose to go with, no matter which one you believe, if you know anything about Mia Goth, or maybe you know nothing about Mia Goth, let me tell you something about Mia Goth. You see, Mia Goth is very famous for a lot of things. She's an actress. I guess that's really one of the only things. But the other thing she's famous for is sounding like a haunted Victorian child doll. What do I mean by this? Well, she sounds like a haunted doll would sound. You would imagine a haunted doll to sound. You see a little doll walk up to you and it starts talking to you. It's Mia Goth's voice. And so, essentially, she sounds very high pitched and she has a British accent. And so, no matter which scenario you choose, both of them involve Mia Goth bursting into a porta potty and sounding like this. Nobody will believe you because you're nothing. Get the F off my set, you big baby. And both of those, no matter how you slice it, even James would have to admit that's just funny. Like I bet he was either pooping himself, which luckily is in the porta potty, so that works out, or he is dying of laughter because God, that circumstance in my mind plays out so funny to me every time I think about it. But anyways, look, I want to get back to that crazy bombshell that James may be a scammer, that this may be our guy. Now, I'd like to remind you that this is James Webb Hunter III, to be exact. So, we don't know anything, but we know some things. You see, James is a public figure. Our James, the one who is in the lawsuit. And he has a podcast called the Jamie Hunter Podcast. Good for him. Entrepreneuring, good stuff. Now, first off, if you want to have a good time, if you want to go and check out his Twitter, again, don't send any hate and don't say anything mean or anything, but if you want to just peruse, he has a lot of things that I would say would be very funny for you to go see. Now, I don't really want to, dig in on everything, but you can see that all the stuff he's posting lately, though, has mostly been to do about the whole incident, about Mia Goth, about this is T West talking about how wild it is shooting with Mia Goth, and I believe that's him reposting this video to say like, look, this is something that can be used for sure. There's something to pay attention to. And he's talked about how he's not open to public discussion, but he will not tolerate being called a liar, or he's open to public discussion, but he doesn't want to be called a liar. All that good stuff. It was a terrifying and grotesque experience that he had went with, and it left him with a debilitating and lifelong illness. I feel for. However, theoretically, if he was our scammer, James Webb Hunter III, if he was that scam guy, I would just have a harder time believing him. If you're scamming UCLA students for a couple bucks here and there, I really can see him scamming a popular actress, a famous actress, and a big production company out of 500,000. I really could see that. I really could see him making up a lie about him being kicked in the head and then having a porta potty encounter just to make a couple bucks, But we don't know it's him. But there was something that I thought was interesting. It was kind of peculiar, and I guess I'll just show you. And there's no harm in that, just showing this interesting, peculiar thing. You see, I don't know if you can see this here, but it's not just the Jamie Hunter podcast, but if you look beneath at his handle, it's actually at JWH3 Productions. Alright. Could mean anything. Could be, James Wild Hunt 3 Productions. Maybe he's a big fan of the Witcher series. But But you see, one of those things it could mean, which really is kind of ringing some alarms. Ring. That was a terrible alarm. But ringing some bells in my head about this looking a little suspicious is that it could also be James Webb Hunter the Third. Oof, that's an unfortunate lineup. It really is. It really doesn't look good. I won't lie to you. But again, it could be anything. But James Webb Hunter the Third, it does fit. I checked it with my scientists. They all came back to me and they said yes. James Webb Hunter the Third does fit in this little acronym here. But this is JOWH3. It's just a 3. It's not the third. As you can see, the third is Roman numeral style. All right, completely different from a 3, really, when you think about it. But then James also has a YouTube channel, and that YouTube channel is a little less ambiguous. You see, this one is JWH the Third Productions, the Roman numeral and everything. Everything's going on. Now again, this doesn't confirm anything. We don't know if this means James Webb Hunter III, or James Willie Hunter III, or just maybe I don't know. I just don't know. We don't know anything. And I'm not a journalist. I'm just here because I thought this was so funny, and I thought you would probably find this really funny too. And I thought it was very interesting because it's a wild update to the Mia Goth case. But we don't know. Now, we still don't know for sure. All right, but if there's a better journalist than me, because I'm not really a journalist, I just thought this was really funny. I just wanted to show you because I thought you'd find it funny too. But if there is a journalist out there who wants to, take a look and see what they can find, well, I think it is very interesting. I think it's very interesting, the initial lineup. And of course, if you can go find his age, because we know his age. We know James Webb Hunter's age. We don't know this guy's age, I'm afraid. But James Webb Hunter was 38 in 2015, so it'd be about 47 now. And so if that lines up, well, the case is just getting bigger. And, well, who knows? Who knows what we're looking at here? We could be looking at something wild. Could be nothing, though. Could be nothing. But either way, those are the big developments in the Maxine Mia Goth lawsuit. Again, this is all my opinion. I cannot say for sure what has happened. I cannot say anything. This is all my opinion, James. Please don't sue me. I'm just here having a good time. And if that really did happen to you, my friend, hope you recover strong. But anyways, anybody else who wants to go ahead and look deeper into this, feel free. I hope everyone had a good time today. I had a great time. This has been a good time. My name is Kino. This has been Pulp Kino, and best of luck to everybody involved. Here's hoping that justice is served, no matter who it's served to. Catch you later.